Hey guys, it's me Avidvedi and you are listening on Extended Reality Developers of India community. We're gonna talk to Sam Luck today. Sam has a lot of things to share with us. Sam is a virtual reality artist and animator, and with Sam, we're gonna dive deep into her work. So without any further delay, here is Sam Luck. Hi Sam, welcome on the podcast, and we are really honored to have you here. So we're
Thank
gonna dive deep into your work today, and we're gonna discuss what you are building at the Black Squirrel. Gonna start with that.
yeah, my name's Sam Luck, and I'm a virtual reality artist and animator. I was originally an illustrator. I studied illustration in Canada for 4 years, and then I moved to California last September, and it's almost been a year being in California, and to work with a my partner who started their business called Black Squirrel Productions, and we're just working hard on that.
Sam, let me know how your discovery, how you individually find virtual reality, and what was your first impression when you found out, okay, there is entire world within those headsets.
So I was always drawn to concept artists, and there were a few people that were using virtual reality. Um, Goro Fujita, he's a very famous VR artist. Yeah, he's been posting like 1,000 VR Quill illustrations. He works in the program called Quill. It was developed by Facebook, and Goro had this workshop at a convention in Los Angeles called CTN, and he had this panel showing his artwork in VR. So I went to that. It was the only panel I was interested in out of all these hundreds of panels. And he said the words, "I made a film in virtual reality." And those words just lit a fire in my soul to want to figure out what this tool was, what this new way of filmmaking was. So from there on, I knew one of my classmates who was working with virtual reality with Quill, and so his name was Nick Ladd, and now he's a huge contributor to the virtual animation group. There's a virtual animation Facebook group on Facebook, and it's mainly led by Goro, Nick Ladd, and they both basically helped me to get into this medium. And I've been in using Quill for about 4 years now.
So, gonna talk to you about Quill. So, as this particular tool you use, which is built by Facebook and which is an amazing tool. So, let us know about Quill and what are the things Quill is capable of, and literally what are the limitations with traditional existing tool of creating and animating things versus Quill. What is your opinion on that?
So Quill originally was just a painting tool,
Mhm.
and they added a animation update to it, and that's where it changed everything. It's basically, I call it a Flash, like Adobe Flash for VR.
Yep.
A lot of the tools are very similar in Flash with Quill, and it's just it's very simple. There's not a lot of things to choose, like tools. If you go into Photoshop or Illustrator, they constantly are adding more tools, which, you know, when you're making art, you don't need a lot of tools because it just makes you confused a lot. Like you just want, like, you can make work with a pencil, you can
Yep.
make work with a paintbrush, and Quill is, there is a learning curve to get over it. But once you know how it basically works, you can make anything.
And this quill is being used within virtual reality headsets to produce the content which is going to be in virtual reality headsets, right? So in that case, you actually assume and you actually know what is going to be there, right?
Yeah, you just feel connected with your work more. A
Yeah.
lot of 3D animators and artists are using tools like Maya, 3ds Max, Blender. I mean, Blender's amazing. I love Blender. But the only limitation is that I'm constantly using a mouse. I'm disconnected from the characters and the environment that I'm working in. And Quill just has this more hands-on approach, like you're painting, actually painting in 3D space. And then from there, you can export it to Blender because it's a 3D file. You can, 3D print it, whatever. You can make it. Quill just added options to do 360 video.
Mm-hmm.
So you can export 360 video now. They're going to be adding more features, I think, but I'm not sure. I'm not really internal. So
When we talk about specifically about animation, so since you said animation actually changed how Quill reacts or how Quill feels, it changed it the existing tools like tail brush or something, right? So when you're saying that, how comfortable or how easy, because I have not used Quill, how comfortable and what is the learning curve to use this animation tool, and how do you compare it with the existing, like Blender has animation, like Maya has animations, so at some extent Unity has also animation. So how do you compare with those pipelines versus Quill?
Quill is a little more has basic. If you understand how a timeline works
Yeah.
in any software, then you can understand Quill. The only other thing it has is there's two ways of doing animation. There's transform key animation and there's frame by frame animation. So frame by frame is like you paint in one frame and then make another frame, paint it, another frame, paint it. Transform keys are you have an object, you have a keyframe, and say you want it to move it from right to left. So you make a keyframe, and then you make another keyframe further in time, and you move the object. And then it'll make another keyframe. So basically like After Effects.
Yep. Totally. Awesome. So the learning curve of it, is it easy to learn on Quill versus the other platforms? So the fundamental is same as you said.
It's just getting around the shortcuts of how like to undo, all these things. There's tutorials online. Nick Ladd, it's called Animbrush Academy. They're really helpful. They're short and they just cover all of the bases. And there's a Discord for virtual animation. You can just message the Facebook group. Somebody will be there to help or direct you to the Animbrush Academy.
Awesome. So now we're going to talk about Black Squirrel. So when we are talking about your studio, when you founded it, and when you started as a VR artist and animator. So since the beginning, were you were this company or you worked projects outside as well?
Oh, so before I started working at Black Squirrel, I worked at a theme park company in Toronto. So after I graduated from Sheridan College, I worked for like 2 years, I think, 1.5 years at a theme park design company called MI Concept and Design in Toronto. And basically they have architects, concept artists, and we come up with designs for future theme park rides or indoor location-based experiences type of thing. And one of the things that I explored was using VR to create visualizations for theme park rides. And one of my most known pieces that people on the internet know me of is I made an experience, a dark ride experience of the Day of the Dead. So you put on a headset and you see basically skeletons, dead people, but like very animated, kind of the look of Coco / Book of Life style. It's in the Black Squirrel Productions reel. And yeah, it was featured at OC6. They did like a little panel and they talked about it in one of their screens, and Quill wrote like a user story about it, showing my process of how I built it from SketchUp to Quill to Blender, and that was really fun. But I wasn't able to do enough virtual reality at the company because I was basically the only one doing it,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone. It's VR is very daunting for people to use and try because it's so new, and it just you have to give it time to like work with it, and a lot of people get sick or something. There's a lot of variables. The technology with the headsets are still not there yet. Like there's a ways to go with it for um, global wide adoptability. And so, yeah, what happened was I was talking with, I'm always on the virtual animation uh, group on Facebook, and everyone is constantly posting artwork on there. And there's always the same people that you see. And one person, Mike Khoury, um, he posted this San Francisco scene, a complete city, the complete city of San Francisco in Quill with animation, and I was just blown away. I had to message this person. I usually don't like directly message people unless I'm blown away by what they've done. And he's been posting a few times on the Facebook group, so um, I said, "Oh my gosh, your San Francisco scene is amazing. I love San Francisco. I visit it every 2 years, basically, or every year." And from there, we just started connecting, and we had a lot in common. And then from there, I moved to California to be his partner and start a company together because we both love Quill. We both love the power of Quill. And, why just me make my own thing and him make his own thing? We need to join forces and make great stuff together.
So when we are talking about Black Squirrel Productions, what is the team size now? Just you two, or you have more people on the team? And what kind of projects you are targeting? So right now, what kind of projects you are working on? Would love to know.
So it's interesting. The why are we called Black Squirrel? Well, we're hardworking, we're fast, and we're agile. And it's from where I'm from, a black squirrel is very rare. You can only find them in regions where I'm from, basically
Mm-hmm.
Toronto, upper like New York area. And Mike Khoury was originally from that area as
Mm-hmm.
well, and but now we live in Oakland, in California. But we're basically, since they're rare, we're also a rare um, duo. We both work in VR. We use VR natively to create and experience the products that we make. So we make primarily content and experiences ranging from interactive to narrative based. And we are primarily using Quill, but we are dabbling with Unity as well. But the main thing is we work in VR because, and that's what makes us unique.
Awesome. That is superb. So now I'm gonna talk to you about the winning a hackathon. So you both have been part of various hackathons, and yeah, wanna know about competing and what was the experience about some of the games or some of the simulations or projects you saw there in VR hackathons. So wanna know about that experience as well, how it went.
So the first hackathon I did was in Toronto. It was a small, like 1 day hackathon
Mm-hmm.
at Facebook. It was like a Facebook developer circles hackathon. And we basically had like half a day to come up with an experience for the Oculus Go. And my team and we came up with um, an idea called the water cooler. And it's basically this app. It's an app where you go in VR and you brainstorm, but when you want to take a break, you go to this room called the water cooler and have water cooler talk to relax.
Wow.
I mean, we didn't have a lot of time to make this, so we just like this is kind of a
So
basic idea.
is it like you have two headsets and you connect in a social situation, which is like a
Yeah.
roboticular talk? Interesting,
Yeah.
amazing, awesome. So
But
and in a mighty hackathon which happened in Boston, uh, some of my friends were there too, and it was really
oh,
amazing. Yeah, awesome.
yeah. So that was crazy. It was literally a month before the pandemic happened.
Hmm.
So that was the last social event I
Exactly.
actually went to, and yeah, it was only little talks about this virus that was happening. So like, be careful. But it was fine when we were there. So it was basically a 4-day hackathon, and everyone knew me as the person in Quill that was in Quill for like 3 days straight, only sleeping,
Yeah,
only
because
taking
I
sleep.
don't know, even I don't yet know a lot of people who create stuff with Quill, because I don't know how you manage to do it. Do you require additional coding or something in Unity as well, or you do everything in Quill? So it's like,
Everything
yeah.
is in Quill basically. That's what I like. I don't do any coding.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I would go into Unity is to place the 3D model I've made in Quill into Unity and allowing you to passively experience it.
Mm.
But you can do it even in Quill. You don't have to go into Unity.
Awesome. That's amazing. So I can assume why everybody was talking to you about Quill, because it's just interesting to see somebody using one engine in such a way that it's rare to see in my case as well. I don't know many people who use Quill to create these sort of things. Awesome. So
They're great for a hackathon experience because you can make animations so fast. Like I
fast.
was
Yeah.
making an environment and animations within like 2 days, and I would give it to my programmers in my group, and they'd be like already going nuts with it. And what I loved about the hackathon, there was a diverse amount of projects people doing. Like we did a story based experience, and other people did like product and different apps that were helping people or um, but in the whole hackathon people were making things that were going to help people. It wasn't like making games. It wasn't a game jam. It was a helpful and inspiring hackathon, and it really supercharged people's soul, I would say, making making and developing in this medium.
Awesome. So when it comes to conceptualization, what comes to your mind? What is your thought process when you're thinking about something? Okay, I need to do things. What are your step one, step two, step three?
Like for any piece. So one of the hackathon members contacted me and said, "Oh, we need I want to make this experience for it's an AR experience for Hanukkah."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm working for a company called Black Squirrel Productions now, and we like working on this type of stuff." And so they gave us like a little bit of a brief. They made two experiences, AR experiences. One of them was a menorah that they uh, 3D scanned, and they wanted to bring it to life and have characters on each of the candles of the menorah. So we drew the characters and we did a little bit of animation. So when you play the experience and you put your phone up and put it on a table, it shows the menorah, and then it plays their dance, this like Jewish dance.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did another one that was more narrative based, and you had like a window, and you put your phone against a wall and it would make a window,
Yep.
and it was a window into this Jewish family in 1932, and they were a Jewish family that lived across the street from a Nazi um, office, a Nazi building where they were starting to introduce the Nazi Party, and they put this menorah up to show their proudness of their religion. And so it basically, the experience went through the story of this family living during this time.
Awesome.
And for that, our process is we gather a lot of reference. The guy gave us like a few photos of the family. From there, we took the photo and we tried to find it if it existed in real life still, but I think it probably got bombed during during the bombing of Germany and whatnot. So we used our own architectural knowledge to build this building from this photo, and also with the family, just using our own judgment, getting reference and showing like a sketch to the company, and then the company agrees or not, critique, things to fix. We take it back, we fix it, make it a little more detailed, and then so on and so forth.
I'm going to talk to you about, again, Black Squirrel Productions and some of the things you're working right now. So what kind of projects you pick and what kind of projects you're working on now?
I wanted to show the reel if it's possible.
Yeah, for sure. That's
So this
cool.
is primarily a combination of Mike Khoury's work and my work put together, because we're starting as a company, a lot of people know us from our work. And so if we put our work on here, people will be like, oh, it's those people. It's these artists. I love their stuff. So we have that at the beginning of the reel.
Yeah. And is it a movie? Are you building a movie?
Yeah, this is just a movie, but all of these are all they're all scenes. Like you can go to any
Yep.
in any of these scenes, and there's some of them are so nice. I mean, they're all so nice. And there's that's a shot of me and Mike painting. We also we plein air paint, my partner and I. In real life, we go on location and we paint using oil paints.
Wow. So let me know something more about this project. So what obviously what you can talk before the marketing content comes out. So what is the theme about? What are these scenes related to? They are beautiful, but what is the story and what we can do with this?
So a lot of the times we're like, right now we have a couple projects we've been doing that are inspired by the world around us, history, nature, culture. So we hope that any client that approaches us is maybe somebody that works in museums, or honestly, if you have whatever idea is, and we feel drawn to it, and our work complements it, then we kind of jump on it. We're doing a few different things, but we really want to be a content creation type of studio. Basically, like if we're a film production, but we're VR film production.
Yep. That sounds really good, and I'm really looking forward to experience it on my headset as well. Yeah.
I find that there's a lot of VR product companies, people trying to make the next VR headset, AR, all that kind of stuff. But there's not a lot of content creator production companies, I would say. There's only like a few other ones, Studio Geppetto, Studio Cyro. Studio Cyros is more, they do more music videos, games, that type of approach. And they also did this collection of a series called Soda Island. And their look is a bit different from ours. We're more like we're really inspired by the world around us. Like we like going to real life places. and painting them and then coming back and recreating it to like in our viewpoint.
Amazing. So, if I talk about Quill again, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna talk about Quill again. How much effort taking the tool is. So, suppose if you have to create, like I like the frame where there was a girl and a dog in a car. So, suppose a frame like this, if you have to create it, how much time on an average it takes for you?
So that one was done by Mike Khoury. He's a car designer. Like he took car design in school.
Mm-hmm.
And so he basically built the link. It's a Lincoln 66 Continental. And he has a lot of knowledge of designing cars. So he built it from, is basically to size and to scale in VR.
Yep.
Like the interior is insane. I don't even know. Like I would take so much longer to do it, but he did spend a lot of time on it. And then he drew the girl in it, and it's more than a week, that's for sure. I think it was like a couple of weeks making the scene.
In your sense, what are some good use cases or some good ideas or game ideas versus bad ideas? Because of course we get a lot of ideas, and how to figure out on what basis, because right now when we talk about virtual reality, there are literally very few parameters on which you can judge, because the market is not that much, and as you already said, the competition is not that much. So sometimes we can also drawn to ideas which are like after in mid VR we decide or we realize that it's not putting much more time into it, it's not worth it. So what is your take? How do you judge by an idea that it's going to be awesome or not?
It's interesting because for me, I don't play a lot of VR games.
Mm-hmm.
I like to watch films, even traditional films, and there's some VR films that I get drawn to that aren't animated necessarily. One of them was one of them is it's called Book of Distance, and it was kind of animated, kind of realistic. It's their experiences that make you really feel something, because there's a lot of games or experiences out there that are not really using VR to its fullest feeling, like the idea of presence. You really, one of the things we ask ourselves, Mike and I, at Black Squirrel, on any project we take, why is this in VR? Why can't it be in a 2D place? Is it going to help anybody? Does it have any social good? I mean, that one you can or cannot. Like sometimes you can make something and it has no reason at all. It can just be fun and stupid, whatever. But the main thing is, why is it in VR? Why is it in AR? Is it gonna make me feel something? Is it gonna make me cry? Is it gonna make me happy? Is it gonna make me angry? Is it going if it's gonna make you feel nothing, then why are you doing it? In my opinion, because the whole point of making stuff, I think, is to make people feel something from it.
Yeah, awesome. So I'm gonna ask you about some of your favorite titles in virtual reality. So since you already said you are not much into game, so I'm gonna assume, let's say, movies. So what kind of VR movies you have watched, or what you liked about them?
There was one. There was a Traveling While Black. That's the one.
Yep.
Very good. I really liked that one. Felix and Paul Studios. I love a lot of their stuff that they make. They're a studio in Montreal, and they do like live action, but also animated stuff. And I love the Book of Distance. That one was really powerful. What was the other one? There was one called something Spaces. It was like you were in space and there were 3 different episodes narrated by 3 different people, and you felt like you were in they took you in like a space, in like outer space, but it was.
Yeah, I got it. I have also watched it, but I don't remember the name as well. I cannot
I
recall
haven't.
it.
It's on my Oculus
Mm-hmm.
library somewhere.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess I have seen the same. After that, they leaves you in empty space and you just wander around and or something like that. That was the end.
Dang it, I remember what it was. Anyway, I'm looking at my things. It's hard to remember some of the name. Oh, Spheres. That's it.
Spheres.
Spheres.
Yeah.
The another one is Wolves in the Walls. That one was
Hmm.
really good too.
The one I loved and I cannot forget it is like The Key. Because The Key was like so deeply rooted. It has beautiful graphics and a beautiful message behind those graphics. So it was like really amazing experience, and I it was beautiful design.
There was another one called Where Thoughts Go,
Ah,
and have you ever heard of that one?
yeah, yeah, I have
It's
watched
such
it.
a simple concept,
Very simple,
uh,
but yeah, yeah.
but it's so powerful, I think, because you feel connected to just the world in it, in my opinion, like people's thoughts.
Beautiful. So yeah, these are some amazing recommendation if I talk about VR movie titles. There are also some good movies which are like played by humans but in VR, like 360 films, like Traveling While Black you already mentioned, but there is also Filamu, which is like directed by Mott Clever. She was also on the show. Are some really good movies, like there is one Haunting movie. uh, yeah, there are some really amazing movies being produced by directors in VR. However, the budget is kind of low, so you don't get that high production quality that you get in Marvel movies. But still, it's progressing, and it's amazing to see. So also, the movies are taking more interactive shape. You can decide what's going to happen in the movie. Like again, the Netflix gave us an example, and now we with the VR we see more and more engagement of a story watcher in the story itself. It's amazing to see what's gonna happen. So, what do you think about the future of these sort of cinema or these sort of movies with the help of virtual reality? How it's going to go?
Well, one thing, people think that you can watch a VR film for like an hour, which is not
Which is not
true.
possible. Yeah.
Um, I mean, I can take myself, for example. I can work in Quill for like an hour or more, but what I'm doing is I'm working on like a specific thing.
Mhm.
As soon as the problem with VR films is they're asking you to look like everywhere, right? There's just too much stimulation. But a traditional film, you're looking at what the director is telling you to look at, like the screen, right? VR, you're like looking everywhere. It's like, oh. So only like 20 minutes is even too much. Um, I'd say like from 5 to 10 minutes is like the max anyone should do.
Mhm.
And yeah, if you can get your story in that time frame, then it's golden. If you can get it even shorter, that's even better. Because there's only so long people can be in a headset, like I said. And the one thing people have to do a lot is play test it. Get people to go in your scene, because I've tried experiences that are on the Oculus store, and they don't even work sometimes, or there's a glitch or something, and I'm like, I can't progress through this film because there's a somebody didn't fix this. Somebody
Yep.
nobody the Whoever was bug fixing did not fix this.
Uh-huh.
Like they need more of that, you know what I mean?
Yep. Totally get it.
Like we can make great art, but if we don't have great programmers with us, then that marriage is like not as strong, you know what I mean? Like it's a
Yep.
marriage, artists and programmers. Like
Same
I need
happened
you
with
as much
me.
as you. me.
Same happened with me sometime when the designers doesn't satisfy the need of my program code. So no matter how complex or how fulfilling code I write, if the graphics are not satisfying, it's not going to be evaluated at the level, right? So
Right?
that is
And you get
something similar.
inspired by it. You want to
Yeah.
be like, you want to feel pumped to work on it. You want to be pumped to program what these graphics are going to be.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So totally relate to that. Yeah. So you are a VR artist and animator. So I'm gonna ask you that it's a very unique kind of job, and what suggestion you have for people who are willing to do something like this? So who have recently bought their headsets and they have interest in arts. So is it possible for them to pursue the career, and what are the steps, or what is your suggestion for them to get into it?
Like anybody can do it. I
Mm-hmm.
literally just asked people that were doing it, and they were more than happy to help you. And like I came from a concept art illustration background, and there are so many concept artists out there, so many. And one of the things that I think could help them is a lot of people are bringing 3D into their concept design
Mm-hmm.
pipeline. I'm like, why not just go in VR? You're
Mm-hmm.
painting and drawing, but you're doing it in 3 dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
And um, not a lot of people are doing this. Like, I am rare. Mike is rare. We're both rare. And you know, the more like people that are doing this is gonna bring, you know, what's the word? It's rare. Jump on it. Not a lot of people are doing it. There's a lot of concept art jobs that pay not as good. You know what I mean? And there's so many. There's just too many.
Yeah, so it was really amazing hosting you on the show. I guess we discussed a lot of good things about it. Yeah, thanks for coming on the show. We really enjoyed this, and we're gonna talk to you soon about whenever your movie comes out. We're gonna share that details as well.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be. We haven't posted publicly about our company,
Mm-hmm.
and we hope to soon, because we have a project that is coming out that no one I think has ever done before.
Awesome.
Um, just the way that we're doing it. So yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, so really excited that what work you gonna present, because the whatever I saw was like really mesmerizing, and it's like something really new, because yeah, we have seen a lot of things which are in VR, but your art literally has some sense, like that car what I saw, it's like really detailed, and it's like telling a story. But and then with that trailer as well, I want to know more about it. So I'm definitely gonna peek into whenever it comes out, whenever the trailer comes out. I'm totally buying it.
Yeah, thanks so much.